Good afternoon or morning, depending where you are. It's Oscar Capel back with the Phoenix National Business Network, and we are again in financial. We're still in financial month, and my theme for today is, if I can share my screen. Here we go. And my topic is the financial dangers of identity theft. As you know, I'm a Legal Shield and ID Shield associate, so I'm able to market these products to people and really be able to protect individuals, families, and businesses with these products. So let me fix my screen over here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I am certified identity theft risk management specialist. I'm doing that now for a couple of years and really digging into what's going on in cybersecurity nowadays. 2020 has been absolutely nuts. The worst case scenario was 2020 when everybody went home, started working from home. All the firewalls that were put up in businesses are no longer there. So the hacking is absolutely incredible. And we'll get into that in a minute. So let's go back a few years. Equifax had a breach of 147 million records. That's roughly half the population of the United States when it happened. It was the worst thing that could have happened. The news was all over it. By the end of November of 2019, another huge leak exposes 1.2 billion records. So that's many times the number of everyone that's living in the United States. Fast forward a little more, at the end of 2019, total of 7,000 breaches, 15 billion records were stolen. How many times the number of people that are living in the United States is that affected? And then finally, we hit 2020. Like I said, the firewalls were down, everyone's working from home, records are being exposed like crazy. 36 billion records were exposed. And what does that look like? I pulled up some alerts from my app, and this one says the EU and the Russian combination of stolen records. They got email and got passwords. This one is from Park Mobile. I used Park Mobile to park my car instead of putting quarters in the meter. When they were breached, they got emails, passwords, username, physical addresses, phone numbers, and names. Dropbox. I use Dropbox for big files. Dropbox was breached, and that's what it looks like. So when you say, well, I'm not going to be affected by identity theft because I don't bank online. You can live under a rock and still be affected by identity theft, because identity theft is not just financial, which is what you're seeing on TV from all these ads. So you could be the oldest person in the United States, robbed of his entire bank account. And then you have Katie, who was a victim at 3 years old, and at 12, she owed $750,000. So again, it's not what you do, it's where your records are stored and how they're being accessed by hackers. Hackers are professionals. This is not some kid in a basement. These are state-sponsored terrorists that are taking our information, selling it, making a profit, and that information is sold and resold over and over again. So, like I said, you're looking at passports, social security numbers, driver's license, the international certificate of vaccines. All of this information is very valuable because they can sell it, and they sell it multiple times, and it doesn't cost them anything to do it. There are drug companies, drug cartels that are switching over from drug manufacturing, processing, selling to identity theft because no one gets caught, and it's easy to do. The financial hit of identity theft is what we were talking about today. This slide tells you it takes about $13,000 out of pocket to try to resolve your own, just the medical identity theft problem. That's just one of the different types. Again, we have medical, we have social security, passports, driver's license, any number, any set of numbers that point to you as a person, that is what's being stolen. Your identity, I like to say, is not being stolen, it's being copied. It's being copied, it's being duplicated, it's being cloned, whatever word you want to use, and it's being sold and resold, and we don't find out about it until it's too late. One guy who found out it was too late, it was Mr. Gerber Guzman, who was arrested on a typical traffic stop. Could have been a going through a red light, or whatever it is that you get stopped for. Driving in the wrong neighborhood, you can get stopped for. So he was stopped, he was arrested. It took 2 weeks to figure out that the fingerprints didn't match his fingerprints. He was released. Sometime later on, he gets arrested again. Why? Because these records aren't cleared out in wherever the records live. It's people error and people not doing what they're supposed to do. His record should have been cleared. It wasn't. He was rearrested, spending another 2 weeks in jail. So that is the if you want to talk about the financial, being arrested, getting yourself out on bail, losing time and money for work. If you have a high security clearance type of job and something comes up, you lose your security clearance, you're out of a job. If you're doing some sort of fiduciary business, if you're an insurance agent or insurance broker, if things come up that's a federal crime, you cannot practice what you've spent your whole life being a professional at. So the financial cost of identity theft is not just in money that it takes to restore. It's in money you lose when you're not working. It's also in the stress involved with identity theft. And there's a whole study about the mental implications of having your identity stolen and what that does to you, because it's a crime that you can't point your finger at someone and say, yeah, that person did it. So it's a faceless crime and you're the victim of it. So comes to now, okay, Mr. Cybersecurity, you know along, what are my options? You know, you've given me all this bad information on what we can do. There's a couple of options. One, do nothing. Just let's keep living our lives the way it is, because what are the chances that something's going to happen to me? As we spoke about earlier, this is the way most people find out their identity was stolen. This is when a warrant is put out for your arrest because of someone that's committed a crime in your name. When child services comes up to have your children taken away because whatever crime you are accused of says you cannot have children in the house. Identity theft is the only theft that you have to prove yourself innocent. And that's where the tricky part comes in. We'll go back to Mr. Guzman. This is the way he found out that his identity was stolen and used and sold, and a crime committed in his name. This is the part where I like to say, you need to do something, and it needs to be timely. You cannot buy collision insurance after you hit a tree. You need to have your car insured for its value before it turns into a giant paperweight. There are several ways to protect your identity. You can do it yourself, which is pretty difficult. You can hire a company. There are a lot of companies out there that do identity theft monitoring. Some do it better than others. Morgan Wright, and here it says the U.S. State Department senior anti-terrorism advisor, when they were talking about the breach in Equifax, the reporter on CNBC said, well, you know, what do you do to protect your family? And he says, I use a company called ID Shield. They have actual investigators. And that is the key. The difference between this company and every other company that I know of, there might be another one, I don't know of it. The biggest difference is licensed private investigators to take over the account. You have to sign a legal paper, a limited power of attorney, to have that investigator become you and take over that problem. We go back to doing everything we do normally. We do not have to be worrying about what we have to do. Who do we have to call? How much time do we have to take off of work? What I have to do to get my identity back to something pre-theft. That is being handled by a company, a professional company, because right now professionals are stealing our identities. They're selling them over and over again. You need a professional to take care of that. Our ID Shield app gives you, and I leave alerts on there on purpose to show what it does. The Legal Shield app monitors what I call our digital DNA, everything that's important to us, everything that can be stolen, cloned, and sold. So these are some of the things I put up earlier: the Russians, Park Mobile, Kickstarter, Dropbox. These are all places that have been hacked. The information was stolen. It is being sold and is being used against us. This is what the app looks like when you open it up. We have 3 bureau credit monitoring, financial accounts, public records, court record, sex offenders, change of address, internet monitoring, social media monitoring, high-risk transaction monitoring. One thing that is on here, which is really cool, social media monitoring. If you have kids and they're on social media, HR people are going to be looking at their social media when they start looking for jobs. If there are questionable posts, pictures on their social media, that could come back to haunt them. So what social media monitoring does, not only does it monitor live posts that you're doing, but you can set it to go through all your Facebook pictures, all of your Instagram pictures, and the AI will pull out pictures that it thinks might be damaging to your reputation. If you're at a party and there's beer or there's wine or there's something, it will scan the picture, say possible alcohol. I did an alteration to the roof rack on my car, put a rubber foam on it to protect my kayaks, and it pulled a picture out and said, this could be a weapon, it could be a rifle. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's looking for things that could ruin your reputation, and that's super important. Another thing that they added is the Internet of Things monitoring. Your smart TV is listening to you. Your phone is listening to you. Siri doesn't just turn on when you ask her. It's always listening. So it will show you how to lessen that Internet of Things creeping up on you and listening to everything you say. If you have children, the one in the middle is sex offender monitoring. You can set that to 5, 10, 15, 25 miles around your area, and it will tell you who the local sex offenders are, their pictures, their address. Everything is available to you. It's that type of monitoring and peace of mind that we offer with this service. Here's a really bad screenshot. Compare the prices between what we do and what other companies do. So we do better monitoring and restoration for less money. And in this example, $34.99 for a husband or a wife, so the couple is $69, $5.99 per child. So if you have 2 kids, it comes out to $80 a month. ID Shield is $29.95 for the 3 bureau monitoring for the entire family. Up to 10 children are also being monitored, no extra charge, $29.95 for that program. So save yourself some money, get better monitoring, and have licensed private investigators on your side, returning you to pre-theft status. Their motto is, we will do what it takes as long as it takes to revert you to pre-theft status. ID Shield has now expanded for businesses. We do monitoring for businesses. We scan for problems that are coming in and out of your firewall. Is your firewall protected? Are there things coming in? It's a 30,000-foot view of your cyber security situation. It's not so intensive. That in ours is an AI type of situation. It will monitor if things are found, then we can go on further from that. But you need to know what your firewalls look like now. Are there things coming in? And cyber attacks come from emails and ransomware, everything else that I'm not going to go into today for time. But you need to start somewhere to really start checking to see what your business looks like in the cybersecurity world. This is what you don't want to happen. You do not want your ransomware to come in and take your files, stop your business or your personal life until that ransom is paid. And all that ransom does when you pay it is give you access back to your computer. There is nothing stopping them from, once they're in your computer, once they're in your system, once they're in your server, to take that information and now go back and sell it again as a normal breach. That is the problem we're looking at today. So we'll talk another day on steps you can use to protect yourself from ransomware. Also, you can give me a call, 646-578-7097. I'll be happy to speak to anybody about that also. One thing I will do for you if you own a business is run a dark web scan of your business. See what it looks like. If there's been any breaches, if you have vulnerabilities already there. This one that I scanned was 30,623 records available for sale on the dark web, and that includes 51 customers. Your reputation as a business owner will live and die depending on what's going on now in cybersecurity. If companies can't trust you to protect their data, they will not do business with you. There is a new cybersecurity score that is going to be implemented on businesses, kind of like your FICO score. If you do not have a good cybersecurity setup and reputation, businesses will not do business with you because you are now exposing their data to hackers. So this is a huge problem. I can't emphasize enough how big it is and what needs to be done to tackle it. We have ID Shield and Legal Shield as an employee benefit. So this comes out of a deduction from the payroll. It does not come from your bottom line as a business owner. So we're able to offer that also for businesses. Financial impact of identity theft on you and your job. As I spoke about last week in the Legal Shield side of finances, you need to build financial security. You need to build financial security by starting some sort of business part-time to build some income in case something happens to your business. I mean, to the place that employs you. If a hack happens to a large corporation, you know, there are ways to fix it, but mid-sized businesses that are being attacked now, about 4,000 a month right now are being attacked. If that business gets closed down because of a cyber attack, you're out of a job. Also with COVID, with the Delta variant, everything else coming out, how secure is your job? And in this picture itself, how secure is your job from automation? There are jobs that have disappeared through automations that are not coming back. Toll collectors, bank tellers are slowly being edged out by, last time I went to the bank, there's huge teller machines that are in the spots where tellers used to sit. So instead of 4 tellers, there are now 2. So technology is creeping and taking jobs away. What are you doing to secure your future? This is one possible way. Becoming an associate with Legal Shield and ID Shield, providing protection and freedom for individuals, families, and businesses through what we do. And it's a great way. It's a great side hustle. As you see from the shirt I'm wearing, Operation Underground Railroad that works to stop child sex trafficking is the charity that we donate to, and part of every sale that we have for Legal Shield or ID Shield goes to Operation Underground Railroad to mount operations to stop child sex trafficking. I'm very proud of the work we're doing there. Our organization, which I'm just a little part of, our larger organization, through my line of sponsorship, I found out we've just topped $90,000 in donations. So it takes about $10,000 to mount a rescue operation. We have figuratively paid for 9 operations to save children from sex traffickers. Everybody's got to do their part here. I'm at a rally in Long Island, and I'm happy to say that pretty soon in September, I will be a team leader up here in Westchester. If you want to do your part in stopping human trafficking, especially with children, again, 646-578-7097 is my number. Give me a call. I'll be happy to help and give you information on all of that. So your next step depends on you. What do you want to do? Are you going to just live your life normally, hoping this never happens to you? And as you've seen in the slides, it's already happening. I just put up a little bit of what has been detected on my accounts, my social security numbers and all the other numbers that point to me. I get daily updates. I get a lot of updates in emails from different companies I work with that do cybersecurity. It's crazy. It really is crazy right now, and you have no idea how bad it is getting. So your next step, again, do nothing, hope for the best. Get yourself a company that monitors what's going on, and the best one, according to me, and even Forbes magazine. I lost that slide somewhere. Forbes magazine called ID Shield the best of 2021. So here's my number, my email. Hopefully that the QR code is my website. I'm happy to help in any way necessary. And I see that Mr. Phil is here.
Hello,
And I've
hello.
stopped sharing. Hello, Phil. I love the new logo.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. A lot of nice work went into that. But Oscar, this is a fantastic program that you have been doing right here. And so I wanted to know, I mean, there's a few questions I have just based on what you've said. And of course, I think that Legal Shield provides phenomenal service that is definitely needed by so many people, How did you get involved in that?
Well, it's funny because I was a customer. It's like the hair club for men. I'm not just I'm also a customer. I was a customer with them for years. As a matter of fact, bought this house through our law firm from Feldman Kramer and Monaco, which is the law firm that, again, Legal Shield uses one law firm per state. So people say the Legal Shield lawyer. No, it's not a Legal Shield lawyer. It is Feldman Kramer and Monaco, my law firm. We use them to buy the house that we have. We had a house that was in a trust that fell in our lap and we didn't need it and we want to get rid of it. I called up Feldman Kramer and Monaco, said, I need to sell this house. I don't want to go down to Florida for 3 days for the sale. This house was in a trust, so I know what had to be done. They put me in touch with a law firm down there in Florida. They did the paperwork, sent it to me by email. I printed it out, had it notarized, put it in a FedEx, sent it over, done. So wow. I knew the value of it, and also, which I talked about earlier. Let me see if I have it back here in my background. This, having the ability to fight a large corporation with a law firm, saying, "Hey, this, you're not treating my client right." We had our will done way before I became an associate. So all of this, I knew the value of it. I knew the value of the 24/7, 365 access to the legal part. And when I lost my job because the place went bankrupt, I said, what am I going to do now where I have a very limited skill set as a dental technician, and jobs weren't around? And what I tell people now is find a side hustle, a plan B, in case you need it. The 40 million people that lost their jobs during the first wave of COVID. I mean, how many people had a plan B that said, I'm getting unemployment, I got a little side hustle, it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. So when I lost my job, I started doing this and marketing it, and just, I wasn't a salesman. I still don't see myself as a salesman. I'm more like, I've coached my whole life. So I coached kids, and then there was a coach's coach. I coached coaches. So, it's all about learning and bringing information out. And what I do is educate and inform people, as I trying to do with this program, is what is going on. You need education. You need to know what cybersecurity looks like. It's not some guy digging through your garbage trying to find you know, a letter from something that they can use. These are tens of thousands of hacks going on every day, with billions of records being stolen and used against us. I need to get that information out to people. Before COVID hit, I was able to do it in my local library. I would invite the local police over.
Mhm.
Tell me your stories. Let these people know what you know about identity theft. So I worked together with the local police, and then from that, I was brought on a TV show, and we had a whole big cyber security symposium. And the guy Michael, who was doing the interview, says, "Yeah, you're frightening me," and I'm like, "I don't want to frighten you. I want to educate you to let you know that that light you see at the end of the tunnel is a truck coming at you. It's not a good thing."
But I do.
So
You know what? Here's the thing. When somebody says to me that they're being frightened, it just means that you're being exposed to something. You're in shock. You're in a mental shock that something exists that you were not either aware of or ignored. So it's like your first time you were watching television and you saw, like a horror scene. The first time you're like, oh my God. The second time, by the fifth time,
it's
okay,
normal.
it's normal. Yeah.
Well, that to me, identity theft to me is normal, because I'm getting exposed to what's going on daily.
Right.
And I'm saying, and people, the worst thing you can say to me is, my credit is so bad, they could take my identity. It's like, you're missing the point. That's like saying, I don't care if I get hit by a bus because I'm wearing old clothes.
Mhm.
There's a little bit more than just you're going to get a little bit dirty if you get hit by a bus.
Right.
There's
Right.
other things going on, and just people, the also the disservice that you're getting from the media. All of the focus is on financial. We will
Right.
protect your identity, your bank account, your mortgage, it's like, all right, so far it's all financial. They don't say anything about my social security. Who's checking out my medical records?
That's it.
I need to know if someone uses my medical insurance card, the MIB, not the Men in Black, the medical.
I thought that would be the Men in Black. Yeah.
The MIB is going to merge our records.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't steal your identity, if I buy the information about your insurance card from someone, and I have diabetes, I have let's say I just have diabetes, and I go to the doctor using your credentials. Now your medical records say you have diabetes. If you get into an accident and the doctor looks at your record and says, "Hey, this guy's got diabetes, you better give him an insulin shot because he probably had the accident because of a sugar problem,"
Right.
that could pretty much kill you by getting an insulin shot. So you need to know what's in your records. You need monitoring to see what's going on daily. And like I said, you can do nothing, but do you have the time and the resources to look through 34 billion records that have your name on?
Wow.
That is the question.
No, nobody has that time.
You ain't got time for that.
But you said, because in the beginning of it, you said 36 billion records.
Right. What does that mean?
That's not an M. That's a B.
That's a
36 billion records. That's a good portion of the population of planet Earth.
Planet Earth, I think, is about 6 billion. So multiply 6 times whatever to get 36. And this is not one breach. It's the aggregate of every breach that went on in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a billion here, 4 billion there, 500,000 here. Somebody out there is checking, is keeping score.
Yeah.
And when they added up the total at the end of 2020, they came out with 36 billion records.
36 billion Record.
And as you saw on my screenshots, I pulled out my app and I said, what kind of notifications am I getting today? And I just took screenshots of the Dropbox of Park Mobile. What was the other one I didn't put up was when you send money to people when they're looking to raise money. I forgot the name of it. Whatever. It's
Donations? Is that what it's
yeah, it's
saying?
that the online donations. So they have that information that they were hacked. I wasn't hacked. The places that are storing my numbers are hacked. This is why I never put a credit card on file on a business. Say, save your credit card here for easier access next time. No, I'll keep my credit card number here. If you get access, if you get breached, I don't have that problem. I did not put up a couple of pictures from doctor's offices that I was at that were breached. So I got their doctor's office letter saying, in January, we were breached and all the information that you had with us is now being looked at by someone else.
Wow.
And I'm like, and my first reaction was, yeah, you're not giving me any news that I don't already know, because I know that doctor's office was breached. But a couple of years ago, we had LabCorp and Quest Diagnostics, which is where everybody sends their lab tests.
Blood, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were both hacked, like 1 month apart.
Get out of here.
1 month apart. So if you've ever had a medical test done, that information about you is now for sale.
If you've ever,
Ever.
all of us have had some medical things done. So yeah, that's very important. Tell them what you said about the copy machines at the medical facility.
Oh, yeah, and that's there are videos, and again, anybody that wants to contact me, I'll send you the video. There are these guys that were looking into identity theft, and especially medical identity theft. How does medical identity theft get out? Besides, and well, actually, this is old. So the old way of doing it, again, was looking through records. Then it went up to paying an employee who was making minimum wage. It's like, listen, you give me 100 records, I'll give you $500. You don't have to steal them. All you got to do is copy them and give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a financial incentive to do that. I'm not taking any records out of the building. I'm just copying, handing it over to Joey. So that was a way of doing a theft. Then every doctor's office has a copy machine that they lease.
Mm-hmm.
When it's up for lease, you're supposed to clear out the 1 or 2 terabytes of memory, send it back. And then they get put in a warehouse. People buy them for pennies on the dollar. These guys bought 3, I believe they bought 3 machines.
Mm-hmm.
None of those 3 had their memory cleared. One actually had papers still on the glass table. They still had papers on it. So when they looked at the memory, they found out every medical record, and one was a police station. So they got everybody who was arrested, and the files were copied.
Oh my God.
So like I said, there's no, and again, that was before. That was actually stealing actual physical thing. This is what, let me share screen for a second, because I did talk about this, and this was one of my slides. This is one of the companies that gives you a live cyber threat map. This is what's going on.
That looks like Star
right
Wars.
Now. Yes, this is what's going on right now. And if you
Wow.
look at the numbers down here, these numbers reset every midnight. So what is this? 69 million records here, 37 million records there. And this is what's going on around the world right now.
Wow.
So
wow.
anyone who says it's not going to happen to me, it's already happening.
Wow. And that's
Question is,
all the
what do we
reason. That is all the reason to contact you. That is definitely it. Oscar, it's great having you on here. If you want more information about some of the services that Oscar offers, you could go to his website at oscarcapel.com, or for those of you who don't want to, use your fingers to type all those little letters in, you can actually go to Phoenix National Network, type that into your app store, and you will find his information on there as well. So just download the app. You can watch the programs. You can contact and everyone that's within our network, and you can connect with the professional. Okay, because you just heard it here. There are 36 billion records that have been exposed. That's with a B, not an M. So you want to make sure that you're not a part or a victim to all of that, and you have the security of Legal Shield behind you. It's very cost effective. Not going to tell you the price of it. Go ahead.
Speaking of cost effective,
Mhm.
one of the things that Legal Shield does is Legal Shield and ID Shield, either one, is they partner with different businesses, and what those businesses do. And I'm going to quickly see if I can find the background for it. They give you discounts on things you buy anyway. So
Okay.
there's one that I don't have because I keep moving stuff around. Just my phone bill from Verizon, I get $36 off of my phone bill every month.
Wow.
So let's do third grade math. If it costs me $24 to protect the family and I get 36 back, I'm getting paid to protect the family. And I've said
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much
I've said that
that's a simple math.
I've said that to people that say, but I already have, this, my life is locked into this company that is won't let me out of the contract for a year. I'm like, no problem, get both. But one, you don't have to pay for if you use the right combination of discounts.
And that sounds pretty wonderful to me. Again, you can reach Oscar Capel on our app, which he has it. Thank you, Oscar, for putting that up, which is right there in any app store. You just type in Phoenix National Network and you will see us pop up. You just click on there and voila, you will be able to enjoy some of the programs that we've been sharing with you. Coming up tomorrow, we have Focus on You, which we're going to be interviewing Chris Januski. He is the property insurance guy. So if you have any sort of property that needs to be insured, this is the guy to speak to, whether you have a church or whether you have a home or anything like that. He is that renter's insurance. You need to speak to Chris because he is very thorough. He's going through some stuff for me right now, and he is extremely thorough. So I look forward to talking to him again tomorrow. And
I got my background up ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will have also coming on at around 11, we'll have Mona Ostrowski from Ooh La La. And so she's going to be giving us some tips there as our life coach. And in the afternoon, we have Mikhail Fisher, who will be coming on as well. So stay tuned for all of that. Thursday, your favorite guy, Richard Cuzio. Yeah, he will be on at 11. And so we'll be talking about mortgages and also property insurance. He will be interviewing Chris again. So if you missed it on Wednesday, then you'll catch it on Thursday. So don't let it miss you on Wednesday. That's all I'm saying. We have Karen Mayo. She'll be coming up following Richard Cuzio. Mindful Eating with Karen Mayo. She has her book on Amazon. She's an Amazon bestseller. So she knows what she's talking about, and you want to catch her programs following Ricky's information. And then, of course, Frank Coppola, the captain himself. He'll be coming on. He's our business coach. and he'll be giving us some information how you grow your business. So you don't want to miss that. This is our financial month and our contribution to you. Thank you everybody for watching. Oscar, you are Superman in my eyes, bro. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.